The security guard's hand clamped down on Vincent Drake's shoulder, fingers digging through the worn fabric of his maintenance jacket. I said you need to leave. Now. Vincent stood frozen in the marble lobby of Sterling Heights Academy, mop bucket still in hand, dirty water pooling at his feet. Behind the mahogany reception desk, 3 mothers in tailored suits stared at him like he'd tracked mud through a church. I'm here for the parent-teacher conference, Vincent said quietly. My daughter, Luna Drake, grade 7. The guard's grip tightened. Sir, if you don't leave voluntarily, I'll have to escort you out. One of the mothers whispered something to her friend. They both laughed. This is Hidden Billionaire Stories. Subscribe, like, and comment if you believe people should never be judged by appearance. Check the system, Vincent said, keeping his voice level. Luna Drake. Her father is listed as Vincent Drake. That's me. The receptionist, a woman named Diane whose nameplate gleamed under the chandelier, typed something with obvious reluctance. Her manicured nails clicked against the keyboard. She frowned at the screen. There must be a mistake, she said. Luna Drake's tuition is paid in full for the next 3 years, in advance. That's $90,000. She looked Vincent up and down. Are you sure you have the right school? Vincent felt the familiar tightness in his chest. The same pressure he'd felt in boardrooms when people assumed he was there to fix the air conditioning. The same suffocation when investors spoke over him until they saw his signature on the contracts. I'm sure, he said. Look, the guard said, not unkindly now. Maybe you're confused. This is Sterling Heights Academy. Tuition here costs more than most people make in a year. If you're looking for public school enrollment, the district office is... Dad? The voice cut through the lobby like a bell. Luna stood at the top of the curved staircase, backpack slung over one shoulder, her face bright with surprise. Then she saw the guard's hand on her father's shoulder. I saw the women staring, saw the mop bucket. Her expression crumbled. She didn't run to him. She stood there, frozen between embarrassment and loyalty, while everyone in the lobby turned to watch. Vincent gently removed the guard's hand from his shoulder. That's my daughter, he said. The guard looked at Diane. Diane looked at her computer screen again, cheeks reddening. There is a Vincent Drake listed, she admitted. But the emergency contact number goes to a corporate office and the payment came from my account, Vincent finished. Can we have the conference now or would you like to call the police? Diane opened her mouth. I closed it, gestured weakly toward the hallway. Room 214. Miss Thornhill is waiting. Vincent picked up his mop bucket. The wheels squeaked as he walked toward the stairs. Luna descended slowly, and when she reached him, she didn't take his hand. She walked 3 steps ahead, just far enough to pretend they weren't together. The distance between them felt wider than the marble lobby. Miss Thornhill was younger than Vincent expected, maybe 30, with kind eyes and a nervous smile. She stood when they entered, but her gaze lingered on Vincent's stained work pants and the chemical smell that clung to his jacket. Mr. Drake, she said carefully, thank you for coming. Luna slid into a chair by the window, staring at her phone. Vincent sat across from Miss Thornhill, the mop bucket beside his chair like a faithful dog. I wanted to discuss Luna's participation in class, Miss Thornhill began. She's brilliant, truly one of the brightest students I've taught. Her essay on economic inequality was remarkable, but she's been withdrawn lately. She doesn't raise her hand anymore. During lunch, she eats alone. Vincent glanced at Luna. She wouldn't look at him. Has something changed at home? Miss Thornhill asked gently. Everything, Vincent thought. Nothing. We're fine, he said. Miss Thornhill folded her hands. Mr. Drake, I know adjusting to a new school can be difficult, especially when... She hesitated. When there's a significant cultural or economic difference between home life and school life. Luna's jaw tightened. She's embarrassed, Vincent said quietly. Of me. Dad, it's okay, Vincent said. I understand. Miss Thornhill looked between them, clearly uncomfortable. Luna, is there anything you'd like to say? Luna's eyes finally met her father's. They were wet. You show up here smelling like bleach, she whispered. Scarlett's dad drives a Porsche. Ivy's mom is a surgeon. And you, her voice broke. You're the janitor at the medical center. Everyone knows. They saw you emptying trash cans when we went on the field trip last month. Vincent felt the words land like stones. I work hard, he said. I know. Luna wiped her eyes angrily. I know you do, but why here? Why this school? We could have stayed at Riverside Middle. Nobody there cared what your job was. I wanted better for you. I didn't ask for better. Luna stood abruptly. I asked for normal. She left the room before Vincent could respond. Miss Thornhill cleared her throat. Mr. Drake, I'm sorry. Adolescence is... I should go, Vincent said. He stood, lifted the mop bucket, and walked out. In the hallway, a group of students passed him. One of them, a tall boy with expensive sneakers, looked at the bucket and smirked. Yo, Luna, the boy called toward the staircase. Your dad forget something? Laughter echoed off the walls. Vincent kept walking. The medical center break room smelled like burnt coffee and antiseptic. Vincent sat alone at a corner table, still wearing his maintenance uniform, eating a sandwich he'd packed that morning. His phone buzzed. A text from his CFO. The board meeting moved to Thursday. Quarterly reports look strong, revenue up 23%. Another from his attorney. Titan Holdings acquisition finalized. You now own controlling interest. Congratulations. Vincent stared at the messages. 52 companies under his control. A portfolio worth $8 billion. And his daughter wouldn't hold his hand in public. He thought about the day he'd founded his first company, a small janitorial supply business he'd started with borrowed money in a rattling van. He'd cleaned offices himself for 3 years, learning every product, every technique, until he could train others. Then he'd expanded, acquired competitors, diversified into medical supplies, then pharmaceuticals, then real estate. He'd built an empire while his competitors were still polishing their MBAs. But he'd done it quietly. No press releases, no magazine covers, no social media presence, just hard work, smart investments, and a name most people had never heard. Drake Enterprises operated through subsidiaries. Vincent signed contracts as V. Drake and let his executives attend conferences. He preferred it that way. Invisible, underestimated. It kept him sharp, but it also kept him alone. His phone buzzed again, this time Luna's school. Urgent, please. Contact administration regarding tuition payment. Vincent frowned. He'd paid 3 years in advance. He called. Diane answered. Mr. Drake, there's been an issue with your payment. Our accountant flagged it as potentially fraudulent. Fraudulent? The funds came from a corporate account, Drake Enterprises, LLC. We need verification that you have authorization to use those funds for personal expenses. Vincent closed his eyes. I own Drake Enterprises. Silence. Sir, Drake Enterprises is a multi-billion-dollar company. If you're affiliated with them in some capacity, we'll need documentation from Wu. I'll bring the documentation tomorrow, Vincent said. He hung up. Across the break room, two nurses were watching a video on a phone. Vincent caught a glimpse of the screen. Someone being escorted out of a building. The caption read, "Fake dad was caught sneaking into rich school." One of the nurses glanced at Vincent, then back at the phone. Whispered something to her colleague. Vincent stood, threw away his sandwich, and went back to work. The next morning, Vincent arrived at Sterling Heights Academy in a black suit. No mop bucket, no maintenance jacket. Just a leather briefcase and polished shoes that clicked against the marble. Diane didn't recognize him at first. When she did, her face went pale. "Mr. Drake, you look—" "I have the documentation you requested." Vincent placed a folder on the desk. Inside, corporate filings, bank statements, signed affidavits from his attorney. Everything proving he owned Drake Enterprises. Everything proving the money was his. Diane opened the folder, read the first page. Her hands started shaking. "This says you're the sole owner of—" "Yes." "But that would make you—" "I'd like to speak with the headmaster," Vincent said calmly. Diane scrambled for the phone. 5 minutes later, Vincent sat in Headmaster Blackwood's office, a room with dark wood paneling and shelves lined with leather-bound books. Blackwood was in his 60s, silver-haired, with the kind of confidence that came from decades of authority. "Mr. Drake," Blackwood said, extending a hand. "I apologize for the confusion regarding your payment. I have reviewed the documentation and everything appears to be in order." Vincent shook his hand, said nothing. Blackwood sat behind his desk. "I understand there was an unfortunate incident in our lobby recently. The security guard has been reminded of our policies regarding parental respect." "Reminded," Vincent repeated. "Yes, we value all our families here at Sterling Heights, regardless of—" Blackwood hesitated. "Background." Vincent leaned forward slightly. "My daughter is being bullied." Blackwood's expression flickered. "We have a zero-tolerance policy for bullying." "Then enforce it." "If Luna has experienced harassment, we'll address it immediately. However, I should mention—" Blackwood folded his hands. "That children sometimes struggle when there's a significant disparity between their home environment and their peers. It's not uncommon for students from modest backgrounds to feel out of place here." Vincent felt the familiar pressure building in his chest. "Let me be clear," he said quietly. "My daughter is not from a modest background. She's from a careful one. I chose not to flaunt wealth because I wanted her to develop character, humility, work ethic, the things that matter more than a luxury car or a designer handbag." Blackwood nodded slowly. "Of course. But perception matters, Mr. Drake. If Luna is being teased because her father works as a— I don't work as a janitor," Vincent interrupted. "I own the medical center, along with 18 others." Silence. Blackwood blinked. "I'm sorry?" "Drake Enterprises owns Crestview Medical Center, where I was cleaning floors last week. We acquired it 6 months ago. I was conducting a quality inspection of our janitorial services." Vincent opened his briefcase and placed another document on the desk. "This is a list of our current holdings. You'll notice we also own the commercial real estate trust that holds the lease on this building. Blackwood picked up the document. His face drained of color as he read. Your landlord, Vincent continued, is one of my subsidiaries. The lease comes up for renewal next year. Blackwood set the paper down carefully as if it might explode. Mr. Drake, I had no idea. No one does. That's intentional. Vincent stood. But my daughter is suffering because of assumptions people make. I need to know you'll protect her. Absolutely, Blackwood said quickly. I'll speak with her teachers and, don't speak with anyone. Vincent's voice was soft but firm. Don't announce who I am. Don't change how you treat her. Just make sure the bullying stops. Quietly. The way good schools handle problems. Blackwood nodded rapidly. Of course, you have my word. Vincent picked up his briefcase. Good. He left the office, walked past Diane's desk without a word, and stepped into the lobby just as the morning bell rang. Students flooded down the stairs, a river of expensive backpacks and branded clothing. Luna appeared in the crowd. She saw her father in his suit and froze. Vincent walked toward her. Dad, why are you dressed like... I had a meeting, Vincent said. Want a ride to class? Luna glanced around. Students were staring. The boy who'd mocked Vincent yesterday was watching from near the staircase, whispering to his friends. I can walk, Luna said. Okay. Vincent squeezed her shoulder gently. Have a good day. He left before she could respond. The video went viral that afternoon. Someone had filmed Vincent in the lobby, not today but 3 days ago when the security guard grabbed him. The footage was shaky, shot from a phone hidden behind a column, but the audio was clear. You need to leave. Now. I'm here for the parent-teacher conference. This is Sterling Heights Academy. Tuition here costs more than most people make in a year. The video had been posted with the caption, Rich school treats, janitor like trash in front of his kid. By the time Luna saw it during lunch, it had 40,000 views. By the time Vincent saw it that evening, it had 2 million. The comments were brutal. This is disgusting. That man works hard and they treat him like garbage. Imagine being that security guard right now. The receptionist needs to be fired. But there were other comments too. Why is he sending his kid to a $30 K/year school if he's a janitor? Something doesn't add up. Clout chaser probably lying about his daughter even going there. Plot twist, he's actually rich and doing this for attention. Vincent closed his laptop. His phone rang, his PR director. Have you seen the video? Yes, Vincent said. We need to get ahead of this. A statement from Drake Enterprises confirming your identity, explaining the situation. No. Vincent, you're trending on 3 platforms. People are digging into your background. Someone's going to connect the dots. Better it comes from us than from... Let them dig, Vincent said. I'm not making a statement. This is a PR disaster. For who? Vincent asked. The school, maybe. Not for me. He hung up. Luna called 20 minutes later, crying so hard he could barely understand her. Everyone's seen it, she sobbed. Everyone. They're asking if it's real, if you're really my dad. Scarlett's mom sent the video to the parent email chain, and now all the moms are talking about it, and... Luna, breathe. I can't go back there, she said. I can't. Please don't make me. Vincent closed his eyes. Where are you now? In the bathroom. I've been here since the 5th period. I'm coming to get you. No, Dad, if you come here, it'll be worse. I'm already in the car. Vincent lied. I'll be there in 15 minutes. He grabbed his keys. When Vincent arrived, Luna was waiting by the side entrance, hood pulled up, face blotchy from crying. She climbed into the passenger seat without a word. They drove in silence for 10 minutes. Finally, Luna spoke. Is it true? Is that true? That you own the medical center? Vincent kept his eyes on the road. Yes. What else do you own? A lot of things. Luna turned to look at him. Like what? Companies, buildings, investments? How much? Her voice was small. How much money do you have? Vincent had never said the number out loud to her. Never wanted to. Enough, he said. That's not an answer. He glanced at her, saw the confusion and anger and betrayal in her face. About 8 billion, he said quietly. Luna stared at him. Dollars? Yes. She laughed. A short, sharp sound without humor. You let them treat you like that. You let them humiliate you. The whole time you could have... She pressed her hands to her face. Why? Because I wanted you to learn... To learn what? Luna shouted. To be ashamed. To feel like we don't belong anywhere. To understand that what people think of you doesn't matter. It matters to me. Luna's voice cracked. It matters when people laugh at my dad. It matters when they treat you like you're invisible. It matters when my friends... She stopped. I don't even have friends anymore, Dad. They think I'm either lying about you or lying about why we have money. I can't win. Vincent pulled over to the side of the road. Put the car in park. Turned to face his daughter. I'm sorry, he said. I thought I was teaching you something valuable, but I was wrong. I was protecting my own privacy and calling it your education. Luna wiped her eyes. Why don't you just tell people? Why do you care if they know? Because when people know you have money, they treat you differently. They want things from you. They make assumptions about who you are before you've said a word. I spent my whole life being underestimated, and it made me better, stronger. I wanted that for you too. I don't want to be stronger, Luna whispered. I just want to be normal. Vincent reached for her hand. This time she didn't pull away. I'll fix this, he said. How? I don't know yet, but I will. The story broke 2 days later. Not from Drake Enterprises, not from Vincent, but from an investigative journalist who'd connected the dots between the viral video, the school's property records, and Drake Enterprises' corporate filings. The headline was everywhere by morning. Billionaire CEO humiliated at daughter's school while disguised as janitor. The article included photos. Vincent in his maintenance uniform. Vincent in his boardroom. Side-by-side comparisons that made him look like two different people. It included quotes from Sterling Heights Academy parents. If he's that rich, why was he pretending to be poor? It feels manipulative. My daughter sits next to his daughter in English. She never mentioned anything about being a billionaire. What else is she lying about? And quotes from other parents. This is exactly what's wrong with rich people. They have everything and still want to play victim. He was testing the school, seeing if they'd treat him differently based on his clothes. It's actually brilliant. Vincent's phone didn't stop ringing. Interview requests, partnership offers, angry messages from the medical center security guard who'd appeared in the video and was now internet famous for all the wrong reasons. Vincent ignored them all. Luna stayed home from school, didn't leave her room, didn't eat. On the third day, Vincent knocked on her door. "Luna, we need to talk. Go away. Please." A long pause, then the door opened. Luna looked exhausted. "What?" she said. "I'm holding a press conference tomorrow," Vincent said, "to address this publicly. I want you there with me." Luna's eyes widened. "Why?" "Because people are making assumptions about you, about us, and I want them to hear the truth. I don't want to be on camera." "You don't have to speak," Vincent said. "Just stand with me. Show them we're okay." Luna shook her head. "We're not okay? Then stand with me and show them we're trying." She searched his face. "What are you going to say?" "The truth," Vincent said. "That I made a mistake. That I prioritized the wrong things. That I'm sorry." Luna's lip trembled. "You're going to apologize? In front of everyone?" "Yes." She looked down at her hands. "Okay," she whispered. "I'll be there." The press conference was held at Drake Enterprises headquarters, a glass tower in downtown that Vincent rarely visited. The lobby was packed with reporters, cameras, and microphones. Vincent stood at a podium, Luna beside him, hands clasped in front of her, face pale but composed. The room quieted. Vincent cleared his throat. "Thank you for coming," he began. "I know there's been significant interest in a video from my daughter's school. I want to address it directly." He paused. I looked at Luna. She nodded slightly. "The video shows me being removed from Sterling Heights Academy because staff assumed I didn't belong there based on my clothing and occupation. That assumption was wrong, but understandable. I've spent years maintaining a low profile. I dress simply. I avoid attention. I work hands-on in my companies, often in roles people don't associate with ownership." A reporter shouted a question. Vincent held up a hand. "I did these things because I believed anonymity would protect my daughter. I wanted her to grow up without the pressure of wealth, without people treating her differently because of my success. I thought I was teaching her humility." Vincent's voice roughened. "I was wrong. What I actually taught her was shame. I made her feel like she had to hide who she was, apologize for her father's choices. I put her in an impossible situation, and for that, I'm deeply sorry." He turned to Luna. "I'm sorry I made you carry my decisions. I'm sorry I didn't see how much this was hurting you." Luna's eyes filled with tears. Vincent looked back at the cameras. "To the people at Sterling Heights Academy, the security guard, the receptionist, the headmaster, you did nothing wrong. You responded based on the information you had. The fault was mine for creating a situation where my daughter paid the price for my privacy." Another reporter shouted, "Mr. Drake, will you be taking legal action against the school?" "No." "Will you be withdrawing your daughter from Sterling Heights?" Vincent glanced at Luna. "That's her decision." A third reporter. "What message do you have for other wealthy parents who might be watching?" Vincent considered the question. "That your children don't need you to be invisible. They need you to be present. They need you to be proud of what you've built and honest about where you came from. Anything less is a disservice to them and to yourself." The questions continued for another 20 minutes. Vincent answered them patiently, deflecting anything too personal about Luna, focusing on his own mistakes. When it ended, Luna hugged him in front of everyone. The photo of that hug, Vincent in his suit, Luna in her school uniform, both of them crying, ran in every major outlet. The fallout was complicated. Some people praised Vincent for his honesty. Others accused him of staging the whole thing for publicity. Sterling Heights Academy issued a formal apology and launched an internal review of their treatment of parents. The security guard gave an interview saying he harbored no hard feelings. The receptionist quit and moved to another state. Luna returned to school after a week. It was still hard. Some students avoided her. Others tried too hard to befriend her. But Miss Thornhill pulled her aside one afternoon and told her she'd written a college recommendation letter 4 years early, just in case Luna ever needed someone to vouch for her character. "You handled something no kid should have to handle, Miss," Thornhill said. "That takes strength." Luna didn't feel strong, but she thanked her anyway. 6 months later, Vincent stood in the lobby of Sterling Heights Academy again. No mop bucket this time. No maintenance uniform. Just a suit and a briefcase. He was there for another parent-teacher conference. Diane, the receptionist, saw him coming and stood. Her replacement had only lasted 3 weeks before the stress drove her away. Diane had been rehired at Vincent's quiet insistence. He'd told Headmaster Blackwood that everyone deserved a second chance, including people who made assumptions based on incomplete information. "Mr. Drake," Diane said, smiling nervously, "Miss Thornhill is ready for you. Room 214. "Thank you, Diane." Vincent walked up the curved staircase. The marble still gleamed. The chandelier still sparkled. But the lobby felt different now. Smaller somehow, less intimidating. Luna was already in the classroom when he arrived, sitting by the window reading. She looked up when he entered and smiled, genuine and unguarded. "Hey, Dad." "Hey." Miss Thornhill stood. "Mr. Drake, thank you for coming. I have wonderful news." Luna's been nominated for the Sterling Excellence Award. It's given to one student each year who demonstrates exceptional academic achievement and personal integrity. Luna blushed. "It's not a big deal." "It absolutely is," Miss Thornhill said. She handed Vincent a folder. "The award ceremony is next month. I hope you'll both attend." Vincent opened the folder. Inside was Luna's nomination essay. He read the first line. "My father taught me that who you are is more important than what you own, even when he had to learn that lesson himself." Vincent closed the folder before the tears could blur his vision. "We'll be there," he said. On the way home, Luna asked, "Can we stop for ice cream?" Of course. They went to a small shop 3 blocks from their apartment, a place they'd been going since Luna was 6, long before the viral video, before the press conference, before everything changed, and then changed back. The owner, an old man named Gus, greeted them like always. "Vincent, Luna, the usual?" "Please," Vincent said. They sat at a corner booth eating chocolate cones, not saying much. The silence was comfortable now. "Easy." "Dad?" Luna said after a while. "Yeah? I'm sorry I said I was embarrassed of you." Vincent shook his head. "You don't need to apologize." "I do. You were just trying to do what you thought was right. And I made it harder." "You were just trying to survive," Vincent said. "That's not something to apologize for." Luna ate her ice cream, swung her legs under the table like she used to when she was small. "Do you regret it?" she asked. "Telling everyone who you are?" Vincent thought about it. The press conference, the scrutiny, the loss of anonymity he'd guarded for so long. "No," he said, "I don't." "Why not?" "Because you don't hide anymore," Vincent said, "and that matters more than any secret I ever kept." Luna smiled. "You're kind of a good dad, you know that?" "Kind of?" "Okay, fine. A really good dad." Vincent laughed, finished his cone, glanced out the window at the street. Ordinary people walking by, living ordinary lives, none of them knowing or caring who he was. It felt for the first time in years exactly right. They left the shop together, Luna's hand in his, and walked home through the evening light. No cameras, no crowds, no explanations. Just a father and daughter side by side, finally visible to each other.